Hey, my name is Shari and I'm 64 years old, and I've been coming here, I think, over 2 years, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy. My quality of life is 98.9% better. I am a brain surgery survivor, and I shouldn't be here. Even my brain surgeon cried, and I was bleeding to death for 3 months, and my doctor just kept saying, well, I don't know what to tell you, Mrs. Heyerbacher. It's a sinus infection. Well, you know, your sinuses are connected to your brain, and I was slowly bleeding to death. I was getting vertigo. I got to the point before I had my stroke and started talking backwards. I was just sleeping all the time, and I had fallen. I didn't have cancer. I had fallen, and I hit the side of my face. My husband, or my mouth. My husband took me to Providence Hospital, and the bad part was that I flipped over onto the other side. That's where I had my surgery. I was cut from here down to here. My brain stem was like this. They had to unwind it. And like I said, my brain surgeon cried. And the first time I saw him after my surgery, I was pretty shook up, and I called my husband on the way home, on the way, waiting for my ride. I can't drive anymore, but driving is so overrated. My husband said, you never were a good driver. But I was having a lot of problems, sleeping a lot, all the time. There was just not enough sleep after my surgery. I was gaining a lot of weight. I couldn't enunciate. I just was really having some struggles, and my side and my feet and my legs were tingly, and I was going to go to the health hut and get a foot bath. I actually had an appointment, and our daughter told me, she said, Mom, she said, I know a chiropractor. Why don't you try going to him? So she told me about Dr. Bucknell, and I thought, what the hey, you know, something has to give. So I made an appointment. I came to see Dr. Mike, got the patookie scared out of me, and he had to send me right over to the hospital. And that's one of the great things about him. If he sees something, he's not going to adjust you. He will tell you. He will send you to a regular doctor. He's not afraid to do that. He sent me to the hospital. They raked me over the coals about going to a chiropractor, and it was terrible. And they even called Dr. Mike up, kept him, he doesn't remember this, they kept him on hold for 20 minutes. I went into the hospital once. I don't want to get started on the benefit thing, because if they see you have good benefits. My husband drives a school bus. He has excellent Alabama Educators Insurance. It covers everything. They covered, my brain surgery was $100,000. They covered all of it but $2,000. And, again, they saw I had good insurance. They were ready to bring out the saw again. So, fortunately, my family doctor felt so guilty. He showed me the records. I'm not going to get into Blue Cross Blue Shield, but, if I had known about Dr. Mike that summer before, I'm sure I wouldn't have had the brain surgery, which really ticked me off. But the thing about it is, I'm a child of the King. God has me here for a reason. And which brings me to another point. Dr. Mike, and my husband prayed with me not to say anything that would upset anybody. But he's only a man. He's a doctor. To me, he's the best. He saved my life. God gave him the ability to save my life. I would not be here. But he's just a man. He's not a Superman. He's not the great physician. If you want the great physician, you need to pray, people. But you cannot come in here and get a tingle once or twice a week and expect any results. You've got to fight. And your life is worth fighting for. And that means getting up off your butts and exercising. And I'm sorry, but I feel so strongly. Couldn't get in last week. I had some kind of a virus. And my husband was rubbing my hands this morning, and he's like, why are you cracking like this? Because I didn't see Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike is a man, but he will tell you If you need to go to a doctor, I was actually supposed to see my doctor about a month ago. I worked through something because Dr. Mike said, well, you could try this, and it worked. It won't always work, though. He will time and again tell you, get a blood test, get your analysis. He has to protect his life. He's a very good man. God has equipped him, trained him to do what he does. And I know he's anointed of the Lord. And I just, I want to be a testimony. I hope I didn't insult anybody. I am truly blessed. My husband is a diabetic nightmare. My daughter's face is frozen. She has Bell palsy. She's doing better. She comes in here. But, everybody has their issues. But I don't want to be in a wheelchair, in a home, eating peas. I want to be on a cruise ship. I have a bucket list. I'm going to Winter Jam. We're taking our granddaughter, and I'm just so blessed. And you can choose to be blessed, but you got to fight. You got to get up. You got to keep moving, and you have got to exercise. You got to do it. I don't feel like doing it. I don't go on my feelings because I'm a woman. My feelings come and go. That's why they should not have women politicians, but that's another thing. But, you pray. You look to the great physician. He'll send you to the right one. And I believe truly that where else can you go? And if you can't get in for 2 months, when you do come in, they're glad to see you. And they're going to keep taking care of you. There are no other doctors like that. So I'm going to leave you with this. Just get up off your buckets and start moving. And you've got purpose in your heart. I didn't at first. It took a long time. You've got to move. You've got to exercise. You've got to lubricate. And you have to eat right. I can't eat bread. I can't eat meat. I eat fruit and vegetables. When I do get into the other stuff, I get sick, and I know it. And but you dust yourself off. You get up again, and that's all. And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen. Thank you, Miss Shari.